V103 Radio, where we're doing an interview on nationally syndicated show, the Rashid Ritchie Show. So I figured I'd let y'all hear a little bit of it.
I'm so self-conscious. That's why you always see me.
All right, welcome back. 404-892-2703. This is you in the conversation. 404-892-2703. I took a trip to Chicago some days back. Many of you are very aware of my dealings in Chicago. And from that trip, I was able to speak with Anthony McIntyre, who is the founder of Switch Lanes. He put me in contact directly with Larry Hoover Jr. I have both of those gentlemen on the phone. Larry Hoover Jr., are you with me now?
Yes, I'm back.
All right, good. So the question was, what are some of the solutions in your mind? How do you see resolving the issues of Chicago street violence and gangs?
Rashad, I apologize. Can I really just make one correction? I am not the founder of Switch Lanes. I'm the president of Switch Lanes.
You're the president of Switch Lanes.
Yes, sir.
Got you.
Thank you.
No problem. All right, go ahead.
And you were saying what are some of the solutions?
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, some of the solutions that can be done to try to get some of these things together. For one, they have to not have a problem with letting the people that the kids are willing to deal with them without considering them gang leaders and locking them up. Right now they're making a big gap between the new youth that's out here now and the old guys that were considered the leaders or the guys that they respected. There's a big gap in between them, and they're running out of options on people that can deal with these younger people. That whole situation isn't there. So for one, you need to let the people that they relate to deal with them. And then when they deal with them, they gotta let them know that you gotta let some things go. You gotta take some losses and move on in life. They gotta understand that you can't revenge everything that happened in your life. If you want to revenge everything that happened in your life, it's gonna keep going on. So they gotta let some of the people that they respect be able to get in there and deal with them. Then you gotta reach inside and find the ones that's in there, because everybody that's living a life they don't necessarily want to keep living that life, but they don't know how to change the life that they live in. And you gotta deal with them. Nobody on the outside is gonna really just be able to tell them to stop what they're doing and change. It's gotta work from within. That's the same thing that was done years ago when cease was being put to a lot of the nonsense that was happening out here in the streets. I mean, and we just gotta grab hold of our kids, our young kids, before they get an opportunity to be misled. Like, we're not doing our job as parents. So that plays a big part. If we could be parents like we're supposed to be, our kids wouldn't be able to be misled. You know, the men be the fathers that they're supposed to be, and women be the mothers that they're supposed to be.
How much of this is a problem as far as gang life is concerned? How much of this is really just an issue of access to jobs, to education, etc.? Any one of you can answer that question.
I couldn't really say that jobs is always an issue. It's been an issue in our community and all communities that haven't been having a lot of money forever. I mean, that's a problem that's been there and is always going to be there when people look at certain people and don't give us the opportunities. But then the gang life thing is, it's glorified as far as when you don't have opportunities, they do is no it's an opportunity out there in the streets, and it's 50-50. Both plays a part. That's how I see it. I guess it's both things play a part in what's going on.
Let's talk about the glorification of gangs. Why are gangs so glorified?
I guess people feel protected, they feel strong, they feel like they don't have to answer to anybody. And it's just, I mean, it's human to feel you want to go with being a strong one, having the support, having the background, having the people behind you. I mean, it's just a human instinct to want to be the one that shines, and the one that people fear is natural to want to be strong. You want to be the lion. You want to have a pack. I think it's just a natural thing to want to be in that situation. You don't want to be the one that's by yourself that people may be able to attack or whatever.
Let's say Larry Hoover Sr., your father, gets out of prison. And he gets out of prison under a restricted release where he's basically saying, I will do what I can do to help solve some of the issues of street violence in Chicago. What happens with some of the young people, or gangbangers, whatever you want to call them, who may not want to get down with that program?
The ones that don't want to get down with that program are probably they're gonna go to jail because they don't keep doing things that they're doing, and they're gonna kill each other or get killed or find themselves in jail. They're gonna have a bad end to their life. That's what's gonna happen. That's what we're trying to stop them from doing now. I mean, that's the end result of what's going on. They're gonna hurt people, and people are gonna get hurt. So right now they headed to jail, death, or just nothing type of life. They have nothing to fall back on. When they get old, if they make it to getting old, they won't have anything.
One of the things I noticed in Chicago is that the real job of the Chicago PD and really the powers that be in Chicago is to keep South Side Chicago from everyone else. It is to separate Chicago and to keep Chicago separate in that stand. Do you think there's a solution that keeps that scenario alive, where you have Chicago separated as it currently is? And Anthony, I can go to you with that question. Anthony, are you there?
I don't know where he went, but hello?
My apologies. Here I go.
Okay, go, Anthony, if you would answer that question about the separation of Southside Chicago. Do you think, under the current geography of how Chicago is, do you think a solution can exist with the current geographical nature of Chi?
I mean, it's a complicated question. I mean, honestly, the South Side of Chicago is a city all in itself.
Yeah.
It has a lot of different components. You got a lot of different street organizations. You got a lot of different churches. They all tend to represent different sides of town. I had a meeting a few days ago with some people. One meeting was with a group of pastors. Another was with a group of politicians. And I told them, honestly speaking, I told them that, y'all gangbang more than the guys in the streets. Honestly speaking, you have churches that, they live for $1. It's some of them that their congregation being a certain size is what constitutes success. What the pastor drives is what they look at for, legitimacy and things of that nature. And the same with the police department. The police department in Chicago don't like the police department in Harvey. The schools. This school is better. They got better equipment for the football players or the basketball players. It's like everything is competitive, from top to bottom. And whether it be, that's why I say the guys in the streets, they follow the blueprint that is out there by the government and by the different entities. They emulate what they see. It's one of the reasons I have such a hard time with the way people are viewed and how much judgment is there, because they're doing exactly what you do. And these guys are looking for the same opportunities. The girls, they're looking for the same opportunities that everybody else wants. And if everything was equal and fair, we would not be having some of these conversations. So the South Side of Chicago in itself, people speak mostly about Inglewood, the low end, whatever. Those areas, you have people who are disenfranchised. You have people who are hungry. You have people who are looking for jobs. You got people who are, they parents, the men is in jail. I just came out of prison doing 19 calendars, man. what was going on with my family when I was in prison. You know,
Right.
so that's why it's so valuable to have an organization like Switch Lanes trying to do what we're trying to do, because somebody that actually has been through it needs to be involved out here in these streets to help these people. So
Let's talk more on the other side about Switch Lanes and other efforts to bring peace to the region of Chicago. And truly, Chicago is simply a microcosm of what's happening throughout the United States. We're going to come back on the other side. I have with me Anthony McIntyre, president of Switch Lanes, and also Larry Hoover Jr., son of the founder of the Gangster Disciples. You're getting Will the Village Man in Talk Radio, News and Talk, 1380 WAOK.
Close at 404-822-2703 on News and Talk 1380 WAOK. What I remember most is the loneliness I felt, the separation from other people. At the end, drinking was no fun for me. Since I've started to attend AA meetings, the greatest gift is that I've become reconnected, a part of life again. I really like myself, and that's wonderful. AA is a miracle in my life. Alcoholics Anonymous. It works. Look us up. Check your phone book, newspaper, or AA.org.
Premature birth is the #1 killer of babies, but you can do something today. Help the March of Dying provide education and support to families and fund life-saving research to give every baby a fighting chance. Give them tomorrow at marchofdying.org/tomorrow.
Breaking news, sports, weather, live on the WAOK newsroom on News and Talk 1380 WAOK.
It's an 18 News Minute. Changes have started in White House staff, and there are signs of more commitment on the way.
You think that's wrong? If they don't change what's going on, they gonna die and go to jail?
nah, I mean that's pretty accurate. That's pretty accurate.
He's resigning after signing on fewer than 3 months ago. Says the AP Sagar Magani. The Supreme Court unanimously sided with sheriff deputies in a legal dispute from 2010 when an innocent couple was shot while California deputies searched for a wanted man. Cleveland Mayor Frank Jackson says the city has fired one police officer and suspended a second involved in the shooting of 12-year-old Samir Wright.
We had to take this, way that really ensured that at the end of it, all due process was adhered to.
Samir Wright was shot and later killed at a recreation center in Cleveland as he held a pellet gun back in 2014. I'm Ed Donahue. Welcome, once again, Saturday, August 25th at 8 o'clock.
This is Taylor Bell.
Tickets are on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. Spectacular life. You don't expect you to just leave a job like this.
They tend to find that working 18 hours a week in different environments.
Spectacular stuff like Spectrum TV, internet, and voice. Start living the spectacular life with Spectrum. Get Spectrum TV with stunning HD plus thousands of titles free on demand at just $29.99 a month. Call 844-677-2999. Then enjoy enough speed for all your devices with 60 megabit Spectrum internet with no data caps and a free modem, just $29.99 a month. And get unlimited nationwide calling plus unlimited calling to Canada, Mexico, and more with Spectrum Voice. Don't wait. Get Spectrum TV, internet, and voice for just $29.99 a month each one bundle with no contract and our 30-day money-back guarantee. Call 844-677-2999. It's Spectrum and be spectacular. Like me. Restrictions apply. Call for details. Take one look, and you'll see why America's making the move to Nissan. At Nissan's Make the Move sales event, you can get great offers on our award-winning lineup with available advanced safety features. Or check out the capable 2017 Nissan Titan with America's best limited truck warranty. Still looking for another reason to make the move? Right now, you can save big with special Memorial Day offers. For a limited time, save up to $11,760 on the capable 2017 Titan XD. Make the move to Nissan, America's fastest growing auto brand. But don't look too long. This event ends May 31st. Take on every day. Shop ChooseNissan.com and your local Nissan dealer. Nissan, innovation that excites. For well-qualified buyers, 2017 Titan XD 11750 consists of 10,000 cash back on 17 Titan XD Platinum Reserve only and 1760 package savings. Once financed through NMAC and choose from new dealer stock. Call 1-888-858-8319 for offer details, sales data sources, and warranty information.
Getting out from underneath tax debt has never been easy, and it's about to get a whole lot tougher. The IRS announced that they're putting more boots on the ground to track down and collect from people who are behind on their taxes. If you owe the IRS, you need to call the team at Optima Tax Relief. They're experts in the Fresh Start Initiative, a special IRS program that could save you thousands if you qualify. And nobody knows this program better than Optima. Optima has already resolved over $500 million of tax debt for their clients. They have an A rating with the Better Business Bureau and will like to get you the best possible tax settlement. So you can pay only the minimum to the IRS, not a penny more. Call now before the army of IRS collectors comes after everything you've worked so hard for. Get protected. Get Optima. Get relief.
Call 800-845-8122. 800-845-8122. 800-845-8122. Optima Tax Relief. So restricted apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
News and Talk 1380 WAOK. Call us at 404-892-2703 on News and Talk 1380 WAOK. Call us now at 404-892-2703 for shop reviews on News and Talk 1380 WAOK.
That's the music there, boy. Yeah.
All right, there it is. Welcome back. 404-892-2703. You're still getting with the Village Man at Talk Radio, News and Talk 1380 WAOK. Listen, I still have with me Anthony McIntyre from Switch Lanes. He's the president of that organization. And I have with me Larry Hoover Jr. Thank you, gentlemen, both for remaining. Let's talk about Switch Lanes. What does Switch Lanes do?
Switch Lanes, it's a national nonprofit organization. It, I like to say that we focus on the disenfranchised, them invisible people that don't nobody want to pay attention to. They act like they don't exist. We have 4 pillars with Switch Lanes. We focus on education, economic development, entrepreneurship, and legal justice. Those are the things that we feel contribute to the plight in the community. So those are the 4 areas that we target. We opened up our national headquarters a few weeks ago up in Waukegan, which is just north of Chicago. It was a big deal. And, right now we're just in the process of trying to build our team and, build our resources, because it does take funding, to do what it is that we do. So we're in the process of working on that. And we have a grassroots operation going on in about, 13, 14 different cities we're popping up in. We have in Beloit, Wisconsin, set for August 20th. We're going to do a march in the city of Beloit, because per capita Beloit is worse than Chicago or some other places. Up there in Beloit, we have a lady by the name of Carmela Hyde. She's actually the acting president up there for Switch Lanes, and her team is doing a great job, and that's coming up. And then we have in Raleigh, North Carolina, we have a young lady by the name of Kathy Thomas, who is the acting president there. She's doing a great job. So we're just trying to just stay on the ground and do everything that we can to just push the positive.
Well said. Let's go to some of the callers. I have Jihad from the West End, Atlanta. Jihad, good day, welcome.
Good day, D. How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good. Congratulations to the brothers and keep up the good work. Just a suggestion.
I listened to CNN, especially on the street games in Chicago, street organizations, and one of the brothers was talking about this particular group that he also said that they needed jobs and et cetera. So my question to the two brothers that's on the phone, if these street organizations have the numbers that I hear they have in Chicago, and why not suggest to them that they open a warehouse with either food or some type of clothing commodities or something that we use every day. I'm pretty sure the street organizations are using clothes and using food. They're using these things, and to me, waiting on the government and these other organizations to implement or to hire us or to put us in that type of situation, I think will be far-fetched, to be honest with you. But I think that those organizations have the structure and the power that if jobs is the answer, we can open up car washes on different areas of town where the street organization will run the car washes. We could do, there's so many things we can do if we change the mindset that we will solve this particular problem ourselves. And I just wanted to throw that idea out there to see what they thought of it.
Thank you, Jihad. And I actually know of some CDs who have done that. I know of some locally who have done that. But go ahead, gentlemen. How would you answer that question?
We don't have any warehouses or anything like that open yet, but it sounds like you part of the group already. Pretty much. That's some future plans.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, to me, as far as I'm concerned, it's not as easy as people might think that just because you have numbers that automatically means that people know how to work together as a team. You know what I mean? It's a team effort across the board, and Willie Lynch still lives, and I think people really need to understand that he did a great job. He did a great job, and from that standpoint, it's not. A lot of times, if people don't have the know-how to actually work together, everybody is trying to figure out who's in charge and things of that nature, and it makes it difficult to work together. And I think that's why it goes back to education. We have been disenfranchised. We've been divided and kept apart for so long. It's difficult now for people to come together. On the smallest level, man, in families and homes, they're divided. People won't work together. They argue, they fight, they bicker amongst each other. If it happens like that on a small scale inside of a house, you can only imagine when you put a bunch of other people together. It's difficult. So it starts with leadership, and I think we need to get more men, well, women as well. I don't want to discount the ladies, but we need to get more people to just take a more aggressive stance. Like me, and Junior, certain people, man, we're arrogant when it comes to addressing these issues, and sometimes you just got to fight, and you can't be so concerned about public and popular opinion. And that's where I am today. I'm just doing the work, and I can't be concerned with what other people think. So as far as if they have negative thoughts anyway, because I love everybody's opinion if they have something positive to contribute. But it needs to come from a good space.
What I'm saying, obviously, when the question was asked earlier, what we need is a job. Okay, so but in the reality, we have a like he said, a leadership or a moral based problem. You know what I mean? But that doesn't mean that we can't attack all of these problems because there's a federal problem. So we just have to attack them on all levels. Even if I know it's hard, this whole thing has to be hard because you said last week we're dealing with a 60-year-old problem. So we clearly understand how hard it is. But if one group or one person or a group of persons, will appeal to the sensitivity of these brothers that look, you eat every day. You're wearing clothes, so are you getting the money to give it right back to white people and the Koreans and the Arabs, and then sit here and cause misery to all our people's lives? It doesn't make any sense. You know what I mean? So we have to, I agree with him, we have to address it from all these levels, and I agree that it's hard, but hell, we got to start somewhere. You know what I mean? And the answer is not going to come from the preachers and the politicians. They see what you see. If they were going to organize something concrete to solve this problem, they would do it. So clearly the answer has to come from the brothers that are in these street organizations, and brothers like you and the brothers that's on the phone to just make the initiative to make these first steps. And let's see where it goes. Let's try it. and let's put it in, let's implement it and see if it works.
But, yeah, like you said, it makes sense, but I'm going to give you a Larry Hoover-ism, and he says if common sense was common, everybody would have it. And, you know, just because it makes sense don't mean that people are willing to go along with it. And if people would understand it, they would. No, it's not. Pardon me?
Go ahead, Larry Hoover Jr., go ahead and complete your thoughts, and then respond.
No, I'm saying there's nothing wrong with the effort. It's just easier said than done. And if people would just do things that make sense, they will look at it and see that, well, we killing each other over a lot of stuff that don't make sense. And it's just easier said than done. That's all.
Let me also interject this, Jahad, and I'll still give you time to respond. Go ahead. The same issues that are happening in Chicago street gang life are the same issues happening in Atlanta, outside of even gang culture. We have a gang culture in Atlanta now, but even outside of gang culture, we're talking about grown folks who have no affiliation with the gang, are not shopping with each other, are not opening stores in their local community, are not owning real estate, are not creating clothing, etc., so that they can benefit from it. So it doesn't change just because you're in a gang or outside of a gang. I would even submit to you, I would ask even that being in a gang indoctrinates you even more away from mainstream connectivity with people that look like you, because there's a certain teaching of separation based on an organization standard than simply an inclusiveness based on your skin color standard.
So listen to what I'm saying, Brother Rashad. Okay, then is the alternative to wait for the politicians and
No, sir, there's no alternative.
Okay, that's my point. So there's no alternative.
There's no alternative. We have to do what we have to do. And part of that is making sure that people like myself and others who are in the trenches, we're telling people this is what you can do. Here's how I can train you to do it. Here's how I can help you get on this course. Here's how I can help you clean up your record so that you can get access to A, B, and C. So these are steps that have to be taken. But it takes individuals. We're still looking for a national leader to tell black people what to do. You're not going to find it. It does not exist and honestly should not exist. The local leader who actually cares about the local community of black folk should be where this starts and stops.
And that's exactly what I'm saying. I'm saying that next time you go to Chicago, whoever that gang leader was on CNN, I'm going to try to reach out to him. And the reality of it is we can get a warehouse in Chicago in that neighborhood, in that housing complex that they live.
That's great.
And they go shop with the people.
God, what I need you to do, help us get one in Atlanta. Because you live in Atlanta. Help us get one right here in Atlanta. Because the same issues that are happening in Chicago are happening right here in the A.
We can do that in Atlanta. That's not a problem either.
Okay, well, let's do that.
But the bottom line is that if we want a solution, no one said none of this stuff is going to be easy, but you have to start somewhere. That's the reason why Mr. Hoover that's on the phone. Let me say this and I'll end with this. Mr. Hoover that's on the phone is not a gang member, right? Or not a active participant or whatever. The answer to the problem in Chicago is in his behavior. So his behavior has to also be duplicated. There's a reason we see happening. Why don't you do what the other people do?
Why are you acting as if these men are doing that or saying?
I didn't say they weren't doing anything. That's why you're taking with that position. I'm saying that their example of being to duplicate their example.
Sure, and I need you to duplicate the example right here in Atlanta.
Oh my God! You had 5 killers in Atlanta over the weekend. You got people that can't walk from one side of town to the other side of town.
Well, you cannot walk from one side.
The two don't even equate. And you know what we do with Atlanta, man, and what we do with other organizations in Atlanta. The question is reality.
What are you doing in Atlanta to set an example? If we're talking about examples, what are you doing in Atlanta to set an example? That's a simple question. Okay, you don't want to ask. Have a good day. I appreciate it. All right, gentlemen, I know you guys are already pressed for time. Last word, Larry Hoover Jr., last word.
Basically, we just keep pushing, and that's what we are going to do from wherever angle we come from, and that's all we can do. And hopefully we change the mindset and how we'll see things going on out here in our people.
All right, and let me say this. The mere presence of Larry Hoover Jr. being involved in the conversation of solution is powerful within itself. There are GD, P-Stone, Blood, Vice Lords listening to this show right now. And they're hearing Larry Hoover Jr. speak a message of peace. Go ahead, Anthony McIntyre. What's your last word?
I think my last words would simply be that, I think if individuals will recognize that the whole concept of organization is that it's a group of individuals who came together as a collective to push a particular agenda. And I think that across this country, if individuals would band together, to come together and focus on a particular issue, as you said, the problems in Chicago, they're not unique. They're a magnifying glass is put on it because people went all the way back to Al Capone. They think Chicago is the home of gangsters, but it's the pain of a bullet. I promise. Like I said the other day, it feels the same whether it's coming out of a gun in Chicago or a gun out of, Midway, Georgia. It feels the same. The pain of the mother who has to bury a child, it's going to be just the same no matter where it's coming from. And I think that if we would just stop with the division, these borders, these lines, man, I'm telling you, we all are in it together. And if we would just act on it and stop with the whole allowing these people to continue to divide us because they're doing a great job. A lot of people want to blame it on music. A lot of people want to blame it on drugs. It takes all kind of ingredients to make gumbo taste like it do. That's just one of my favorite things. So it take all kind of ingredients to cause us to be in the situation we're in. We need to start with just working together. That's my take on it. If we can just get a little bit of unity and learn how to organize, we'll be in great shape. It'll be a great start, and we can do something for these kids.
We are going to continue following what you guys are doing with Switch Lanes, the nonprofit. Larry Hoover Jr., Anthony McIntyre, thank you both for being with me. Looking forward to talking with you guys more in the future, okay?
If I could say one last thing, Rashad, Switch Lanes, switchlanes.info is the website. I invite anybody to go to the website and learn a little bit. Phone number is 847-672-9272. And my personal email address is switchlanes.anthony@gmail.com. We invite everybody to send us some information.
All right, thank you. So once again, the phone number is 847-672-9272 for those who would like to get involved in the solution here. 847-673-9272. Give my address again.
I appreciate you, sir.
Give out the email address again.
Oh, I'm sorry. Switchlanes.info is the website. My email address is switchlanes.anthony@gmail.com.
There it is. Thank you, folks. We'll talk very soon, okay?
All right, thank you.
All right, there it is. 404-922-703 Willis Manor Radio.
All right, everybody. We was just live on V103, which is a nationally syndicated radio show. Just trying to spread the word about what it is that we're trying to do with Switch Lanes around the country. I meant what I said. Anybody that's willing to work with us, we're definitely willing to work with y'all. So, we welcome anybody to get in contact with us and tell us what you think. You have any ideas for us? But listen, do me this favor, right? Don't call me just to complain. I don't want to hear that. If you're just calling me just to give me complaints about stuff or to tell me what we all can clearly see that, it's the white man or it's the police, I'm not really trying to hear that. Just get in contact with me and give me some suggestions on things that I can do better, that you can do, or that people around us can do. And with that, I promise you I'm going to get right on top of it. But if you're just calling to complain, just don't even bother, But with that, I'm going to bid y'all a good day, and I'm going to get back to doing this work. All right, talk to y'all later.